Hello and welcome back to Mechanical Mastery. Today we're going to be diving into some advanced mechanism so we can start making a gas burning generator, as well as start taking a look at the big multi-blocks that we're going to need to complete mechanism. It's going to be quite the journey, and I hope you guys stay along for the ride with me. So back here in our base, we are now enclosed. We have a second floor, so we needed the space to start expanding for mechanism. We are going to be making the basic control circuits all the way up to the ultimate control circuits today, in order to get a gas burning generator up and running, hopefully around over here, so we can get some more power for what's to come down the line with mechanism, because mechanism is a power hungry mod. It really will eat up power. In the SPS case, it would actually void all excess power you're sending to it when it's not working. So we definitely need power to be a bit overhauled. Although we did start to upgrade these, and they are producing about 640 RF per tick now. From the future here, I did want to go ahead and show you these flux efficiency as well as the flux linkage amplifiers. These are the patterns you're going to need for them, as well as the ones over in this multi-servo press, the Electrum and the Lumium, to upgrade thermal machines. Thermal machines can move pretty quick, so you can use the flux linkage amplifiers, 2 of them, as well as the one of flux efficiency with the integral component we just made earlier, and you should be able to make this move at its maximum speed. That holds true for any thermo machine. So if we look at the induction smelter or this pulverizer that we're using, we can upgrade those all as well. To get started, we are going to set up our enrichment factory, and I believe we can get away with just one of them. So we're going to try to set this up over here, and I'm going to go ahead and gather all the materials needed. So I'm trying to get set up all here with the machines we're going to need to get the mechanism stuff up and running. And I'm running into an issue with our washer here. It seems to be an issue with the crushing wheel as well. I think it has to do with this pattern. So if we take a look at quartz in here, I don't know if it will show us in here, but it does have an option to give us the gold nugget for one, and this is only a 12% chance that it's happening. So since we are doing this by request, I think if we go over here and we reset this pattern and we throw this in here, we take a look at quartz and we look at the washing recipe and we edit in, we should change this to remove that. This will be 1. And I want to set the soul sand to 64. That way it will always send, whenever it's trying to craft 1, it will always send just 64 soul sand out to the crafter here. That way, even if it does only need like a few pieces of quartz, we'll always make some extra. And I think that should solve our problem here. So if we cancel this and we look at the crafter, we're going to need 4 more of them. I'm hoping that we don't run into an issue with it sending. So yeah, it's going to process 300 soul sand, which is kind of a waste of EMC. But I think it may process better. Let's see. It is washing all this stuff, so that's good. It's going to take a little bit longer too because it's sending stacks at a time, but that's fine. And once we get it, yeah, that does seem to fix our issue because it has made enough and it won't hold up the craft. Because that's what's happening, is it's holding up the craft and then it gets stuck in this state of where it is not returning what I want. So I think the same thing's happening with redstone. So if we take a look at the crafting recipe for redstone, and we look at crushing, it is says it's a 6. Should get 6 every time. I wonder if it's the. We'll leave that for now, and see if we get any holdups anymore after that. But we should have everything we need to start setting this up, and it should be fairly simple. So with our crafters, they're going to kind of look like this. So I laid it out in my inventory how we're going to set this up. I think I want to get some blackstone just to kind of stick with our theme here. And we will put it 1, 2, 3 off, and we want to be in the center of this. So just something like this for right now will do. What we're going to place down is the enrichment chamber in the center. And we're going to use 2 metallurgic infusers on either side. Just like this. And on top of here is going to be personal barrels. So we're going to put 1 each. So you got to claim all these so then they could be yours. And this is just so it has an inventory over here for our crafters to use. Actually, I want to put this one up with a logistical pipe underneath, because these will not auto pull in. So let's grab ourselves some logistical cabling, and it's just going to go like this, because we need it to pump to the front and the back of these machines, so like so. And personal barrels will now go on top. Oh. A lot of misclicking today. And we'll fix that one. But this is what it's going to look like. And lastly, you can place your crafters. You're probably going to need the wrench, which I did put in my backpack, because these are definitely not going to place the right way. And make sure they're facing down. And this is sort of how I want it to be set up. Before we make our patterns, we are going to want to set the configurations for this machine. So you're going to want to make sure auto eject is on. The top is going to be the input, the back is going to be the extra, and the bottom will be the output in my case. And we're going to want to copy this to each one of the machines. In order to do that easily, we can make one of the Mac configuration cards. And this thing will let us shift and right click and retrieve the configuration and then paste it onto each one of the machines. So now if we take a look at the configuration, it will exactly match what we just set up on this one. The only thing you can't do is paste it onto a different machine. So this machine, although we're going to set it up the same, is going to be needs to be configured by itself. You're also going to want to separate all these cables. Just make sure you don't separate the back ones, because we are going to need them connected. And just like so, we should be able to have it look somewhat like this, which is actually pretty clean. So now inside of the pattern grid here, it can be a bit daunting to set up the crafting recipes for the mechanism stuff, because certain things require specific ratios, such as the infused alloy will require either redstone, enriched redstone, or a redstone block with iron to create the infused alloy. So what I like to do is set up all the crafting recipes for the enriched first. So we're going to need the redstone, the diamond, the obsidian, which is a process in itself, because you need to get refined obsidian, which is made with powdered obsidian and diamond. And then we are going to need the carbon as well, because we're going to want to produce steel in this method. So now if we take a look at this one right here, the infused alloy, if we go to make a recipe for it, it says it's going to send 1 iron and give us one infused alloy. In this case, since it didn't put the redstone in automatically, we don't really have to worry about it. But we do want to add the enriched redstone, so it's going to send 1 iron and 1 enriched redstone, and it's actually going to give us back 8 of these. And the way you can figure that out is if we look at the recipe and we look at what 1 redstone is worth. So if we go over to here, 1 redstone is worth 10 millibuckets. 1 enriched redstone is worth 80 millibuckets. So if we're sending 1 iron with 1 of these, it should produce us 8 of the infused alloy. You also want to make sure you're sending 8 iron as well. So this whole process should be set up and ready. So we can actually give this a test by starting to throw some of our items in here by getting all our patterns in there. And we want this one that has 8 iron. And this will go inside of one of our metallurgic infuser crafters here. So if we go ahead and request one of these, we should be able to request 8 of them, and that should be 1 operation. So we have 30. I don't think it's actually going to. Oh, I got to set the pull here. So that will go into there. We do need some gates. So let's go into crafting, get gates, and slap some gates on all of these. So that should make the enriched redstone. And then this enriched redstone should get taken and dumped into here. Yep, same thing. And if we set this to pull, the iron will go into the top, and the redstone will go into the back. And this should make us 8 of these. It's going to do 1 process at a time, so as it goes, we should only see this go down to 70, which we do. And basically, what you're going to need to do is go back through for each one of these. So at Mech, and we have the reinforced alloy, so it's going to take the infused alloy with diamond, and it's going to cost 20. So if we take a look at how much enriched diamond get us, actually we go back here and we can just click the bar that's right here, and the enriched diamond gets us 80. So if we were to set up that crafting recipe, it would look something like this. So we'll clear this out, and we're going to want to make the infused. It's going to need the diamond. And remember, it takes 20 and has 80. So we need 4 of these. And we will get 4 of these. So that should be our crafting recipe for that. And it's just going to be basically going down the line here and putting these in here, making sure you set the pipe to export, and moving on to the next one. So just getting the last few recipes in here. So we have steel, or enriched iron, which we are going to make here, and we are going to need a recipe to smelt the enriched iron into steel, or make it into steel dust. So you're going to need this, and carbon once again, and once again a 1-to-1 ratio. So set those up, and now we can use the smelting recipe, and we'll put that in our furnace. And the last one is actually the obsidian dust, which is used for the refined obsidian dust, which is actually an enrichment chamber recipe. So good thing we have that set up over here. So we'll put the dust in here, the steel. I'm going to use in the same one that I'm making the enriched or refined obsidian in. And we have our steel ingot pattern, which will just get thrown into this redstone furnace, which is probably going to get upgraded soon to to a basic smelting factory just because it's a lot quicker at what it can do. So I'm just covering up the remnants of our work here, and we need a few more of those. The cables or the covers don't really fit in too well, so I'm not sure if we're even going to end up keeping these, but they do work for now, at least to keep the cables a bit covered up. They don't work as well as the AE ones either. You can't put them like over, or at least I couldn't figure out how to put them over the cable. So this will have to do for right now, and maybe we can make it part of the whole design here. But we should be able to go into our crafting here and go into mechanism and see if we can craft an atomic alloy. It does say we are able to make all the things needed. So let's see if it'll start, and we should start to see everything kick on over here. And it's going to be quite slow until we get some speed upgrades. I'm not sure if we can. We need a recipe for those, actually. Speed upgrades. Throw that in here. And they take 8 each, so we can see if we can make them. But giving it its time, it did make us our atomic alloys here. With all of that set up over there, it is time to set up our gas burning generator. In order to do so, I like to do a crusher, an electrolytic oh, not that. This goes on this side, facing this way because it does matter what way it is facing. And in the middle, you need the pressurized reaction chamber. We do need access to the bottom of these two machines, and we're going to need to run a cable. Yeah, so we're definitely going to have to come up with some sort of design here for this. But we are going to need an importer and an exporter. That is because we're going to be generating substrate. So on here, this will be generating substrate right here. We're going to import that into our ME system, and then the exporter is going to go on this side, and this is going to export what we're going to need to crush down to make the substrate. So if we take a look at substrate, we need biofuel, and looking through the list here, I found that the best option for us probably going to be sugarcane. It has EMC. It can be exported into this to be crushed down and put into the pressurized reaction chamber here. So we are going to need to run our cables. The cables run. This is going to require a little bit of configuration, not too much. So we need a aqueous accumulator here. We'll get ourselves some water. We should have 2 buckets full, which we do. And we'll pop these down over here. We should be able to just use some mechanical pipes on the back here, and pop these on here for right now. And these are going to get fed into the pressurized reaction chamber as well as the electrolytic separator. And we are going to set these machines up. So clear all the side configs. Auto eject we will want on, and the output is going to be the left hand side. So it should put the biofuel into the left-hand side once we configure that machine, and the bottom will be the input. This one we want to take a look at here is the items. So there's 3 different tabs for us to take a look at. Right now we're on the items. So the input will be on the, well, let's clear everything. Input will be on the right-hand side. The output for items will be on the bottom, and then gases, the input is going to, we're going to clear it all. The auto eject's going to go on. The output will be the top, and the gases input will be on the left hand side. And lastly, for this guy, it would be the fluids tab. So you can clear this, and the back, we're going to want to set this to input. That way we can fill it with water. So the electrolytic separator, we need to clear all this stuff up. Fluids will be an input on the front. The gases will be an eject to the left hand side. So we will set that to output to the left hand side, which should be the one we want, the blue output, which should be what we need. The oxygen it's going to produce on this side, we want to dump the excess, because then we're going to run into some problems if we do not. So I believe we're going to need some more gates. We're going to need to get those started up. We are missing blaze rods. That's fine for right now. I will get these two started. So this should start accepting if we put the pipe onto extract, and it does. So it should give us our hydrogen, our oxygen, and water's going into here. Hydrogen is not exporting. Gases, we didn't set it. So again, the left hand side, gases, output. So yeah, there we go. Hydrogen's outputting and going into here, and this should start to produce the ethylene once I get one more gate on there. And now with the gate on there and this all cleaned up, we can throw the gas burning generator right on top. I would recommend making some of these noises a bit quieter. So we can go mech, and we can muffle these noises here, because they are quite loud. I don't want to turn them off completely. And there we go. So this should be pushing the ethylene up to the top, and this should accept. Let's see, ethylene, gases, auto eject on. There we go. And ethylene, this is now producing power. The last thing to do is put a flux plug onto this. And we should be able to make one of these fairly easily. Running low on, and we're really running low on these blaze rods. Doesn't want to round robin these. I'm gonna definitely have to take a look at. Yeah, see, it's filling this one, but not this one. There we go. This should get us some blaze rods, and we should be able to now craft this. Almost. Not yet. And just like that, we now have a plug, and we can take it on up here. And we want a plug because this is going to be inserting energy into the plug here. So if we select our main network, that should turn on. Wouldn't be any issue connecting to this. Might have to connect it to the front. There we go. So the plug is on there, and our power is now going up even faster. So we should be able to speed up these machines without issue, and really start digging a bit deeper into MEKANISM now that we have all the basic stuff all ready to go. And with that, it takes us to the end of today's episode. I hope you guys are enjoying, and I hope you guys are learning something. If you guys did, drop a comment down below, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.